always seeing a lot of stuff on it. Oh, what the heck? What's up, YouTube? I'm back again, and yeah, so I've been always seeing. I've seen a lot of stuff on the internet about Goofy not being a dog, being a cow, this and that, and it's just driving me nuts because he's a dog. Okay, he's a dog. He is a dog. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. Goofy's original name was Dippity Dog. Dippity Dog. D-O-G. He's dog. So that got me thinking about some other stuff too. Some misidentification of certain Disney characters. And another one came up was the oldest villain in the entire Disney series, saga, universe, generation, whatever you want to call it. The first villain ever was misidentified. Back then, people, assumed that it was that. But then when it came time to be new generation, he kind of evolved and people were shocked to find out that he was a cat. If you know who I'm talking about, comment down below who I'm talking about. I'm talking about none other than Pete. That's right. Pete is a cat. Goofy's a dog. Let's go. So, Pete actually started his career in Steamboat Willie. Just do some real quick. Sorry. He started his career in Steamboat Willie. Now, that makes sense. Oh, what the hell? Okay, actually, let me go back because this is for the camera, so I don't want to cut. Yes, today we are talking about none other than Pete the Cat, who was the oldest Disney villain of all time. That's right, first villain in any Disney short film, movie, whatever you want to call it. Pete is the one. Now, Pete is indeed a cat. Now, if you didn't know this, his first appearance was February 15th, 1925. February 15th, 1925. That's a long time ago. And you might be thinking, oh, Steamboat Willie. No. His first appearance was in Alice Shorts, which was a really cool live action cartoon that Walt came up with. What he would do is he would film this little girl called Alice against a white screen and then animate the stuff around her. It was really cool. It was brilliant for its time. And these shows were called Alice Shorts. And in one of those shorts, Pete was the villain, and the show was called Alice Solves a Puzzle. So that's his first appearance. And then he had, different aliases, different, names that he went by. Then I say went by Pete during that time, but it was the same character, just progressed over it. Same reason why Dippy Dog is now Goofy. Just different names, just develop a character. I don't think Walt knew Dippy Dog laughing in the crowd of that one cartoon was gonna become Goofy, who was one of the Fab Five nowadays. Who could have guessed that? So, other aliases that he goes by: Captain Blackheart, Louis the Leg, Pierre the Trapper, Peg Leg Pedro, Percy P. Percival, Sylvester Macaroni, Turbo Tom, Tiny Tom, and Tom Cat. Cat. He's a cat. So, I'm pretty sure Louis the Leg or Peg Leg Pedro, one of those was his name, and Steamboat Willie. That makes sense that he is a cat and he is Mickey's first villain because, cat chases mouse. And if you ever see Steamboat Willie, the cat kind of. So, I mean, Mickey works on his crew on the ship and Mickey kind of screws up and, wants to be a captain or just wants to drive the ship and be, pretty cool. But he doesn't like it very much. So they get into a little debacle, a little scuffle, you could say. It's a really cool short. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But yeah, Pete started there, worked his way up, and he was always a villain. All the old cartoons, he would, fight against Mickey, Goofy, all of them. But nowadays, more or less, he's just, part of Goof Troop, and that. He's not really seen as a villain. He's just seen as Goofy's neighbor. Which I don't understand why Goofy is so afraid of him. Goofy's a dog. Pete's a cat. Dogs chase cats. Don't you? Maybe that's why people don't think that he's a dog. I don't know. Maybe it's just because Pete is, huge and could probably kick his butt. Like I said, he's always portrayed as a type of villain throughout the years. Like in House of Magic, he kind of portrays as a greedy property owner. He's greedy. He's a villain, but he's not the type of villain that we see in a lot of the Disney movies. He's kind of a okay villain, I guess you could say. Kind of a developmental villain, I guess you could put into words, where it's good to the story to have that character. You have to have the kind of balance of good and evil in this story. And he doesn't do anything crazy, as in Hans and Frozen. That's just messed up. That's just really messed up, man. I mean, you don't do that. So he's not really so much as a villain, more of just a menace. He's a very menacing character. He's got that menacing attitude, just kind of proud all the time, kind of thinks he's better than Goofy. I do think there's a good side to him though, because he definitely still, cares for Goofy, being his neighbor and sometimes his co-worker. Like in a Goofy movie, they work together at that photo place, and they kind of hang out and talk about their kids and things like that. But he's like that friend that you want to be friends with because he's cool, but kind of annoying at the same time. That being said, this video, I don't know, I didn't do a lot of crazy history on this. There's other videos out there that go through this, but I just want to close this video by saying Goofy is a dog, not a cow, and Pete is a cat. And if you didn't know this, Mickey Mouse is a mouse. It's amazing. If you want to know about more characters on what they actually are, I'd be happy to tell you, because I love animals. I worked with animals before. I studied animals for a while. I know a lot about animals. So let's go down a quick little list for you. Mickey Mouse is a mouse. Minnie Mouse is a mouse. Donald Duck is a duck. Daisy Duck is a duck. Pete is a cat. Goofy is a dog. Max is also a dog because, Goofy's son. Annabelle, right, that's her name, the cow. Hold on. Clarabelle is a cow. I can see how people confuse Clarabelle being the same species as Goofy. They got that, but if you look at the differences, Clarabelle has a long snout with two little nostrils like a cow. What does Goofy have? Goofy has a dog nose. Let's continue on the list here. Pluto is also a dog. Hold on. My dogs are bothering me at the moment, so I'll be right back. As I was saying, Pluto is a dog. Yes, Pluto is a dog that doesn't act like Goofy as a dog. Goofy is a walking, talking dog. Pluto is just a barking dog. That's a whole nother video, and I don't know what to say in that video because that's just mind-blowing to me as well. Let's go to the next one. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit obviously is a rabbit. It said in his name. You also have another cow. That's not Goofy. Remember, Goofy's not a cow. It's Horace. He's a cow. You also have Jimmy Cricket, which is a cricket. You have Baloo, who's a bear. You have Brer Bear, who's also a bear. Brer Fox is a fox. Brer Rabbit is a rabbit. I can go on and on. If you have any Disney characters that you're not sure what that type of animal it is, come talk to me. I actually do have a certification in animal stuff. I worked with animals for a little while. So, I do have experience with animals. If you have any questions, please let me know. Comment that down below. This video kind of got off a little bit of an angry tangent about Goofy being a dog instead of Pete the cat. But it's a video. And sometimes I like to just ramble on about random stuff. Mostly Disney stuff because this is a Disney channel. So, hope you guys don't mind my rambling. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like button, make sure to subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Maybe I'll try to come up with a theory on why Pluto is a dog and Goofy is a dog, but they're two different types of dogs. Speaking of dogs, check out this video over here where I talk about why Stitch is a dog. Sort of. He's an alien, yes, but he's also a dog. And check out this playlist over here. See ya.